Good evening, or maybe I should say, good awakening. Because the kind of people who end up here, listening to this, they're not the average crowd. No, the average crowd is out there laughing, sleeping, wasting hours, playing pretend with their hollow lives. But you've tasted something else, something they can't handle. You've tasted blood, not just the kind that spills from the skin, but the kind that spills from the soul. You remember it, don't you? When they laughed while you bled, when you were stripped bare in the middle of the storm, when your voice was drowned out by their cheers, when you stood there, wounded, betrayed, abandoned, and they smirked like they were watching a show made for their entertainment. They thought the pain would break you. They thought humiliation would be the coffin, and their laughter would be the final nail. They thought you'd stay down, but they forgot something. They forgot that pain is an alchemist, that every drop of blood it steals from you, it replaces with fire, that every wound it leaves behind becomes a scar written in a language only warriors can read. They forgot that the universe, the universe, it has a ledger, and tonight the ledger's open. You see, the universe is patient. It doesn't play your game or theirs. It's not rushed. It lets them build their castles on your bones. It lets them drink from cups filled with your tears. It lets them believe they've won. Because when the hammer drops, it's not subtle. And now, the hammer is falling. This isn't about revenge anymore. This isn't about getting even. No. This is about cosmic debt collection, about the kind of payback that's not just personal. It's elemental. It's storms that don't stop. It's shadows that cling to them even in the light. It's the haunting truth that they will never again know peace because peace isn't free. And they spent it all laughing at your pain. They don't see it yet, but every smile they ever had at your expense was a signature on a contract they didn't know they were signing. Every cruel word they spoke was a currency they now owe tenfold. Every time they turned their back while you bled was a loan the universe will collect. With interest. And you're not the same person who bled back then. That version of you died in the fire they set. And what came out wasn't the victim. It wasn't the helpless soul they thought they left behind. It was the debt collector. You carry their unpaid bills in your silence. You carry their judgments in your stride. You carry the weight of everything they did to you. Not as a burden, but as ammunition. You walk into rooms they never thought you'd survive to see. And you take up space they thought they'd buried you away from forever. And here's the best part. You don't even have to lift a finger to watch it all unfold. Because the kind of justice that's coming for them, you can't buy it, you can't fake it, and you sure as hell can't run from it. It moves quietly, patiently, perfectly timed, so when you see their eyes dart around, when you hear their voices crack, when you notice that little twitch of fear they try to hide, that's not your imagination. That's the universe cashing the debt. That's the ghosts of every laugh they ever had at your pain, standing in the room with them. That's the sound of the game ending. They laughed while you bled. Now you stand while they drown. And the best part, you're not even smiling. You're just watching. Because the greatest revenge is realizing you never needed any. The universe already had you covered. You see, the funny thing about people who enjoy watching others suffer is that they never imagine the day the mirror turns. They think the cruelty is infinite. They think the stage will always be theirs. But the universe is a master storyteller, and it loves a plot twist. That's why, while they were busy dancing on your wounds, the ground beneath them was rotting. While they were laughing, the clock was ticking. While they were telling the world you were finished, the world was already rewriting the ending. And here's the truth they can't swallow. They didn't destroy you, they built you. Every scar they left is armor now. Every tear they caused became a weapon they can't defend against. They forged something far worse than the enemy they feared. They forged the reckoning they can't escape. And it's poetic, isn't it? That the same people who thought they'd written you out of existence will now spend the rest of their lives living in a story where your shadow never leaves them, where the sound of their own laughter reminds them of the day it all began to collapse, where the debt they owe echoes louder than any apology they'll never say. So let them hide, let them pretend, let them choke on their own denials, because you know, and I know, and the universe knows. The collection has already begun. They laughed while you bled. Now every sunrise, every heartbeat, every sleepless night they endure is a payment. And one day, when they finally realize what's happening, when the walls close in and the light fades, they'll remember you. Not as the victim, not as the broken one, but as the moment their empire of cruelty started to crumble. And you'll be somewhere far away, unbothered, untouchable. Because the universe doesn't just settle debts, it crowns the survivors. All right, let's close it so the last words feel like a blade they'll never forget. And here's the irony they will never confess. All that blood they took from you. It watered the soil beneath your feet. Every humiliation, every whisper, every cruel little smirk became the bricks in the road that carried you out of their world and into something far greater. They thought they were ending you, but they were chiseling you into something their hands could never create, something their minds could never break. They gave you the kind of strength you can't buy, can't fake, and can't teach. The kind born in fire and baptized in loss. Now, you carry it like a crown they can't steal. Not a crown of gold, but of survival. Heavier, sharper, forged in a place they'd never dare step. And maybe they still laugh when your name is spoken. Let them, because somewhere in the spaces between their laughter is the silence of fear. Somewhere in the stillness of their nights, they hear footsteps that aren't there. They remember the moment you stopped bleeding and started standing. And that's the part they'll never survive, knowing the ending wasn't theirs to write. The debt they racked up is infinite. And the universe? Oh, the universe keeps immaculate books. So walk away. Let the universe do the work. Because the day is coming when their laughter will sound like the opening note of their own requiem. And when that day comes, you won't be there to see it. You'll be somewhere untouchable, somewhere they can't follow. Because you didn't just survive them. You outlived their entire story.